Thank you so much. Respected Jayanta Sahasrabuddhe ji, Nakul Parashar ji, Dr. Ranjana Agarwal ji, Dr. Arvind Ranade ji, Venkateshwaran ji, Omkar Rai Saab, distinguished fellow panelists and science communicators from all over the country, warm greetings from Asia's first media university and India's largest media university, and the city of lakes, Bhopal. I would like to greet each one of us on the auspicious occasion of the 75th anniversary of our independence. We are all really fortunate to be around in this great journey of our nation. And I would like to compliment Vigyan Prasar, Next PR, and Vijnana Bharati for coming together and thinking of such an important issue. How many of us have heard about a gentleman by the name Prahlad Chunilal Vaidya? Not many. He was the founder of the Community Science Center. He played an important role in the freedom movement. He was a product of the Royal Institute of Science. He was actively involved with the Ahimsak Vyayam Sangha, which was set up inspired by the ideals of Mahatma Gandhi. He later joined Tata Institute of Fundamental Research. His papers were published in various journals like Nature, Physical Review Letters, and Current Science, Astrophysical Journal. His work on general relativity is often compared to that of Albert Einstein. He was motivated by none other than Professor P.V. Narlikar. But except for the scientific community, not many people know about this scientist who contributed not just as a scientist but also as a freedom fighter. There are n number of such instances these are forgotten chapters of our history. And that is why I compliment the Vigyan Prasar, the National Institute of Science Communication and Policy Research, and Vijnana Bharati for coming out with this wonderful idea of recording for posterity the contributions made by scientists in the struggle for India's independence, in the struggle for freedom and independence for scientific research in this country. These are the people who immensely contributed. Except for the role of politicians or barristers or journalists, very little has been written about or talked about the role of people from various disciplines. Yes, recently when we won a medal at the Olympics, our Indian hockey team, we did recall how, under the leadership of the wizard Dhyan Chand, Major Dhyan Chand, we won the Olympic gold right under the nose of the Führer. So there is a mention of some sports personalities also. But when it comes to scientists, we have generally confined them to the laboratories. We always gave this perception that scientists, and that is the kind of imagery that you see in Indian films also, scientists are some kind of weird kind of creatures who grow long hair, long beard, and that is a kind of stereotype created by many of our films and the popular literature, so to say, about scientists being cut off from the rest of the society, with little to do with the people at large. And this is where I think that this initiative is so much needed. Over the years, these institutions have been taking a very important initiative of taking science to the common man, building scientific temperament among the people. It's not only talking about science, but also, and which is one of the constitutional duties enshrined upon each one of us, to build a scientific temper, to overcome superstitions, to fight against social evils, to think scientifically, to think progressively. Because our ancestors have not only thought scientifically in the past, which we are realizing today, but also they encouraged. They did not hang people, they did not give hemlock to people for thinking otherwise, for thinking differently from the rest of the crowd. This has been the practice and tradition in this country for centuries. We have always encouraged diverse thinking, divergent thinking on diverse issues. So we have treatises from mathematics to grammar to geometry to Ayurveda. There is no branch of science in which our ancestors have not excelled. I don't want to go into the past. But we are talking about the independence movement, wherein so many little known, lesser known scientists contributed, but their contributions are yet to be made public to the people. The people are not aware of how so many of them did their best. Though we know about C.V. Raman, we know about Satyendra Nath Bose, we know about Homi Bhabha, but there are so many other scientists. We know about J.C. Bose, but or doctors like B.C. Roy. But do we know also about so many scientists, so many doctors who contributed immensely to the building of modern India, to the independence movement? And these needs to be chronicled, these need to be documented, because they were not mute spectators. The scientific community was not a silent spectator to what was happening all around them. In fact, they were inspired. We talk about how Swami Vivekananda inspired the establishment of the Indian Institute of Science. There are so many instances which are not known to the common people about the scientific temperament, not just of our socio-political leadership, but even our religious leaders. How they were scientifically inclined, how they wanted to bring about, not just overthrow the British regime, but also bring about major social changes, social reforms. These also need to be told. These are stories which our children are not aware of. And these have to be told in simple, comprehensible format. And that is where I think that the science communicators should come together. It can be in the form of comics. Like in our younger days, we used to see the Amar Chitra Kathas. I think we should have comic books. We should have animation series. Today animation is hugely popular with the younger generation. They watch Japanese, Korean, Chinese animations. I am sure that we have the competence. Institutions like Vigyan Prasar, NISCARE, they have the competence to produce such good quality animation, so that we can reach out to the younger generations. Today, majority of the students, thanks to online education, they are using the mobile phones, they are using laptops. We can reach out to them in a very interesting way. Tell these stories. Because it is time that we rethink that it is not, with all due respects to our, film stars and other personalities, I think we also need scientists as icons for the younger generations. As a nation, we need icons, and they should not be just film stars or pop stars. They should be scientists, they should be scholars, literateurs, authors, who should be the national icons and who should be, adored, who should be idealized, who should be set as role models that people should follow. So in that direction, it is important that we tell them stories. And today, there is an atmosphere in this country where such thinking is not only being encouraged, but there is a change in the taste of the audiences. Few years back, you could not have imagined that a film by the name Mission Mangal would have attained such huge success. Or a film by the name Toilet would have become a super hit film. Or a film like Padman could have ever been made in this country. But today these are realities. Today biopics are being made on a whole lot of little known freedom fighters who are not known beyond the borders of their states. Today we are seeing these biopics across the country. Can't we have biopics on these scientists? I remember we had films like Ek Doctor Ki Maut, which talked about the brain drain from this country. But can't we have films where these doctors fought against, these scientists fought against all odds and not only survived but also succeeded? These biopics should also be encouraged. Only then there can be a change of mindset, and the best of minds can think of, becoming scientists, becoming good teachers. That is what the national education policy has done. It is a roadmap to make India the Vishwaguru. So far we were doing things very spontaneously. We were producing scientists. We were producing the most brilliant software engineers. But it was not part of a well-designed, deliberate, conscious move by the state to groom such people. There was no atmosphere, no ambience, nothing was provided. But under the NEP, the National Research Foundation, there is a conscious attempt to cultivate the best of talents, to groom the best of talents. But they need inspiration. It is through curriculum, school texts, through films, short films, videos, that such stories, visual storytelling methods are used to convey these inspirational stories to the younger generation and the people at large. That, I think, would be the greatest contribution of the scientific community to this Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, wherein we would be able to tell them. And it is important, and I really thank Nimish ji, Ranjana ji, and the most respected Jayant ji for bringing people like us. We were all working in isolated in our own, cocoons. And it is such a huge potential that we have. Institutions working in isolation. We are media university, India's largest media university. But by bringing us on board, there is a fusion between science and communication that has happened. Similar institutions are there all over the country. We should bring them on board so that we don't work isolatedly, we work in synergy. So that what we do serves as a force multiplier in taking this message forward. Because all of us have our own potential. And what you have done is to become an aggregator of this potential across the country. I know that today, I don't have much space to speak, and after listening to, the most eminent Jayant ji and others, I think that we are all inspired. But what we need to do is that we have all done great work. Our ancestors, our scientists during the freedom struggle, but how do we take those inspirational stories to the masses? And I am happy to know that there are some film festivals are also planned. A lot of events are being planned. But let it become a movement. Vigyan Prasar and Nispiyar are doing their job wonderfully. But let us also ensure that this becomes a movement, and every department of mass communication in every state and central university across the country works with the local scientific community to take this message forward. That kind of a synergy is required, so that this entire celebration of the role of scientists in the Indian freedom movement is decentralized and democratized right up to the grassroots level, so that we can reach out to the maximum number of people. That should be the idea. And I'm sure that you are all far-sighted people who have made elaborate plans for this. But this needs to be taken to the grassroots. That is important. This needs to be taken to people in different languages in this country, because data has proved, statistics have proved time and again that more and more Indians are watching, reading and listening to content in their respective languages. So while English is important and Hindi is important, it is important that we communicate to the larger masses, not just in the languages but also in the dialects, so that everybody comes to know about the great role played by the scientific community in the independence movement and the building of a modern India. I am sure that this year-long celebration will also take into account this factor, that we take this journey of science. So we need to have not just a top-down approach, but also a bottom-up approach, wherein these stories should come from the grassroots, from the district level, from the science. What we are doing in our university, for instance, is that we are now trying to locate journalists, find out about journalists in every district of Madhya Pradesh who contributed to the freedom movement, but there is very little known about them. So that right from the district level we have a compendium of such people who have contributed, but maybe they are not known even at the state level. And there are hundreds of people, such people all over the country. This needs to be compiled and documented. This is also important, so that everybody gets their place under the sun. This has to be ensured, because there has been, knowingly or unknowingly, the focus has been on few names. And yes, deservedly so. But then they were not the only people. There are many unsung heroes of Indian science who need to be celebrated. I am sure that this event would ensure that they all get their place under the sun. I can only assure you on behalf of my university and its 4 campuses that in Central India, we are ready to play whatever role you deem fit to entrust us. We will be your partners in this journey. We will be happy to do it at the national level also, because we have an alumni profile spanned across the country as the largest media university in the country. We are ready to play that role. We will be happy to partner with you in this, and we wish you the very best and assure you of our fullest cooperation in this endeavor. Thank you so much for inviting me to be part of this very historic moment. Namaskar.